Oh yeah, there's another one. Another one on the rib worm. Oh, nice eater. Beautiful fish. I mean, they just can't resist shaking that rib worm. Put this one in the box for later. Nice one, get them in here. You know, many people, might be following my careers in the walleye tournament industry. And, I've had a lot of success in the last few years in the tournament world. And one of the baits that's really made that success, to those tournament wins and that national championship that I had this past year was this rib worm. It has about that perfect length, that 4-inch, profile, but it's very thin. It's very easy for that walleye or that, bass to get it in their mouth very easily and get a good hookups. It has a contrasting tail. You can see this dark profile bait here with a very, light, white pearlized tail. It has that contrast. That's when those fish really target. And it's a very, very easy bait to work. It's very simple, easy to use. And one of the techniques that I like to do is, especially in that championship last year, is use it in dirty water. It works very well in clear water, but in dirty water, one of the ways that I like to work this bait to give it a little bit more presence and a little bit more action, you just simply cast it out. It works very well on, fishing rocks, fishing different kinds of weeds. But as I like to use a high vis line to watch my line, go slack so I know it's on bottom. What I'll actually do is just lift my rod tip and shake it as I'm lifting it. I'm basically vibrating that bait down there about up a foot and a half. Let that bait settle back to the bottom and just shake it back up again. But what that does is it creates a lot of vibration down there. That curly tail creates a little bit of presence to it. In dirty water, you shake it, it vibrates almost just like a crankbait. So I just simply hop that bait up along bottom, let that bait glide back down, that curly tail, shimmers as it goes down, and just simply work right over top of that rock, right over top of those weed structures. It's a very simple, easy bait to do. As long as it's near bottom, it's gonna be in that fish's face, and it's so subtle, those fish just love it and can't resist it. One of the very important things to this presentation, rigging this rib worm, is I like to rig it on a jig most of the time. But the biggest key is to use a light jig, an 1/8 ounce, even a 1/16 ounce jig. So that way this bait has a very slow fall. That's a lot of times when you're gonna get your bite. You're working that jig up, work it up about 1.5 feet, but that slow fall as it returns to bottom is when those fish are gonna grab it. That curly tail has a real subtle action to it. Working it slow, have that real slow fall, gonna give those fish a chance to hit that bait before it hits bottom. It's a very simple, easy to use bait. Yeah, I definitely would give it a try.